went to Japan for 10 days. From our hotel room in Tokyo, we looked out over an amusement park. We could also see Tokyo's newest attraction, the Skytree Tower, but it wasn't yet open to tourists. We stayed in Asakusa and did a bit of exploring on the first day. Very quickly, we found the first of many vending machines selling drinks. These were in every street corner everywhere we went. Although we didn't see many in Yanaka, which is one of the oldest parts of Tokyo. We did see a cat here. And later that week we saw even more cats in the cat cafe in Shinjuku. And this is Gomoko, she was my favorite. We took a trip out to the suburb of Mitaka to see the Ghibli Museum. Studio Ghibli produces all the famous Japanese animation films, like Princess Mononoke and My Neighbor Totoro. I'd only seen a few of the films, but still really enjoyed the museum with all its nooks and crannies and many different levels. After this, we went to Harajuku and to Shibuya, where we completely failed at grabbing toys from a machine and saw the famous Scramble Crossing. Asakusa was a lot quieter, especially at night, although there was this one street with lots of restaurants and people. One morning we got up early to visit the fish market. We were not early enough for the tuna auction, but we walked around the vendors and the chaos and saw lots of people being very, very busy. We also saw lots of dead or almost dead fish. Later that day we saw some happy living fish as well, in the garden of the Imperial Palace in the rain. From here we went to Roppongi for some karaoke. Some of the regulars were very good.
You are all I long for, all I worship and adore.
Others, not so much. We managed to get some people dancing. The next morning we did some shopping, and then we went back to Roppongi, this time to the Mori Art Museum, which was closed, but which did have an amazing observation deck from which we could see all of Tokyo. And there was also a sort of sparkly Disney exhibit. After Tokyo, we went to Nikko, home to waterfalls and temples. Nikko is extremely touristy, but that's because there's a lot to see in a very small area. Lots of temples and statues and other things to take pictures of. You had to take off your shoes to go inside the temples. We also went to this very long row of mossy Buddha statues, and after that we took a bus to Lake Shuzenshi to see a supposedly big and pretty waterfall. But it was so foggy that day that we didn't see it, we only heard it. From here we went to Yokohama, where we stayed in a big hotel, which had amazing views from the elevator. And from our room we once again looked out at an amusement park. Underneath the giant Ferris wheel was an amazing roller coaster, which of course I tried. twice. We also did Dance Dance Revolution badly. The entire area of Minatomira is a bit like an amusement park, with a giant mall and a Snoopy store. And lots of places to watch people go by. Or watch food go by. I was here for a conference, so I didn't go outside much. But one afternoon, I found a milk festival right outside the hotel. I did have a few hours to explore Yokohama. It has a big Chinatown area. And lots of interesting buildings and some very cool public spaces. All too soon it was time to take the bus to the airport and the plane back home. Bye, Japan!